Sage Wanderer here, and I would just like to say that I remember life before all of this. I remember life before the internet, when if you wanted to answer a question or find a truth or discover something new, you had a couple choices. You could watch the Learning Channel until you learned something. Or you could go to the library and find a book on the subject. I remember when a person could go fishing without the outside world pinning him down and demanding his attention. A time when a guy could go fishing and be completely out of touch, even just down at the local pond. I remember driving across the country without any kind of communication or cell phone, understanding that if you broke down in the middle of the nowhere, you just had to figure something out. Back when you carried a shovel and an axe and a rifle in your truck. I remember a time when a few young people were brazen enough to disrespect older folks, but for the most part, the entire United States respected their elders. And when older, gray-haired people spoke, people stopped and listened. I'm old enough to remember when old people lived at home instead of being shipped off to places we call nursing homes, which are just waiting rooms for death. When old people lived with their family and stayed at home, many of them died in their own beds. Still, right up until the very last minute, dispensing wisdom to the younger generations, and they sat by and listened. I remember before remote controls were common. I was the remote control. Hey kid, change the channel. Of course, it wasn't too difficult, except when we lived in places where there wasn't good TV reception, and to get that channel that had the news broadcast that my dad liked, sometimes I'd have to hold the rabbit ear in this hand and put this hand up in the air like this and be a human antenna. Yeah, I was the human antenna and the channel changer. I remember when the only place that there were security cameras were inside of banks. That was the only place. There was no security cameras on the streets. There were no traffic cameras. There were no security cameras in stores. Casinos and banks, that's where they had cameras. Not on the street. I remember a time when a person could be completely secure of his privacy inside his home as long as his drapes were drawn. No worry of being eavesdropped upon, surveilled, spied upon. I've seen a lot of things change in my life. Some are for the better, like my ability to grab this device that looks like Captain Kirk's communicator and throw up a video that the whole world can see. Gotta admit, that's kind of cool. I'd like to say you take the good with the bad. But instead of seeing technology, to me, instead of seeing it as taking the good with the bad, I really see it as us all taking the bait in the mousetrap. That stuff like me being able to post this video up and talk to you right in your house is the bait inside the trap of a total surveillance state. That we are headed rapidly, are in now and going deeper by the day into a complete surveillance state where they will watch you sit on the toilet, where they will watch you take a bath, where they will watch you and listen to you make love. Literally, in your bedroom, in your bathroom with microphones and cameras. They're doing it now, honestly, and you're carrying them in there with you. I'm going to start keeping my cell phone in a metal box. Soundproof metal box. But, you know, they got microphones in the remote controls now. How many of those Xfinity remotes do you have in your house? They're listening to you, just like Alexa. Where are we gonna go from here? It's 1984, just came a few decades too late. God save the Republic.